I'm so good that I timed that right, despite the people didn't hear. We're going cold open. Screw you guys. Stumpy was just like, I asked Stumpy to count us in, and he goes 3, 2, 1, go, and I timed it like a legend. And yet our guests each week can't even do it with a nice, neat and tidy 3, 2, 1.
The question is, Cole, will you include my massive burp at the start? I don't think you should.
That was before you started recording.
No, I got another one in. I snuck in another one.
Did you? Oh, in that case, I will. I'll tell you what, I'll play it again now. There it was.
Disgusting. That's disgusting. I don't know why you'd play that. People will genuinely click off because of that.
I hope so. If they do, they're not for us.
That's very fair. It's very true. Hello, everybody. Welcome your sweet, tight little asses to Poddy C. No, don't give me that look. Number 53. My name is Stumpy, and I'm joined by CoolCole93.
Whoa,
and this
sorry.
is not a cast. I'm so sorry. I've just done the cast intro. Oh,
yeah.
My name is Stumpy.
My name's Cole.
Yeah, and this is officially...
unofficially
the best podcast on the internet. It's the Poddy C. That was our casting intro because we've got two different subsets of intros as normal people do.
We've got podcast DDLs, so our literal actual TV show every weekday at 6 p.m. on Jinx Esports TV, Sky Channel 433, and streams, I guess, as well. And then, the official RLCS stuff. We basically, one of us says the other person's name. We're a little bit more traditional. Maybe we shouldn't be. Maybe we're sort of being cowardly when we do that.
Maybe. We'd need to combat the lag, though, to make it perfect. At a LAN setting, we can do that. My name is Cole, my name is Stumpy, and blah, 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 and it'd be perfect. But maybe you'd need to, when I'm saying, should we try and time it now? And I appreciate this gets edited to make it sound good.
Without me editing and cheating?
Yeah, so this bit, don't edit and cheat, right? Okay. And I want you to start speaking and saying, my name is Cole, as I'm finishing the word Stumpy in your ears.
So do you reckon it's about on the P? About on the P, do you reckon?
I reckon a little bit earlier. I think it's the
Okay.
Okay, so. My name is Stumpy.
My name is Cole.
That was good. That sounded good on my end. I like that.
All right, cool.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's the one. It's the M. Anyway, we're back. We're alive, and we can't yet say where we have been because it's been an incredibly busy couple of weeks. I guess like sort of 2 approaching 3 weeks now. We've been doing project work essentially.
Or have we?
No, we have been, because people know that bit.
That's not a big reveal, because then the big reveal is either we're doing loads of stuff that they're looking forward to, or we're just completely lying.
Or we're
we just
not.
fancy 2 weeks off. Yeah, we thought all this momentum.
Fuck the momentum. RLCS, no. Creator codes, screw that. We don't need to get rid of using that. No, we're doing a big project, which people can realistically probably guess, but you will know in the next week or so what that project is, maybe 2 weeks, and what that project is, and how absolutely fucking sick it is. I teased a little bit on Twitter by saying, hey guys, for no reason, just go watch the Greatest Overtime video again.
Yeah, exactly. Really sort of like whet your appetites. Maybe for content like that. Maybe, again, as we're sort of hinting at, something completely and utterly different. And actually, we've started a burger business called Stumpy's.
Stump patties.
I campaigned to not have Coles on there. I don't want my name attached to this shit. It's really bad burgers.
What about
come to our burger restaurant?
It would be stump patties with pickles.
Stump patties with pickles. I would not go to a restaurant that advertised serving me. I don't want pickles, mate. I've told you
I want to go to
again.
stump patties with pickles.
But son, I hate pickles.
You know that guy in SpongeBob who like hides them all underneath his tongue?
I'm sorry.
No, I know. I saw from your face you didn't get that reference, and it still hurt me.
I know. All right, do you know what? I'm going to Google it. SpongeBob.
Yeah, Google it. Just do SpongeBob tongue pickle.
Hide.
You'll see him.
I see him. Oh, look at him go. He's got 4 little pickles there.
Yes, basically he complained at the Krusty Krab about not getting pickles on his burgers, and it was like a whole episode. And then it turns out that like at the end or something, they then say, like, we definitely gave you pickles on that burger. And he's like, no, you didn't. and whatever.
And he's hiding.
And then they I think that's Squidward or whatever, like grabs his tongue and lifts it up, and there are 4. It's one of those like weirdly realistic like bits of SpongeBob where like they really put effort into drawing it, and it's his like wet, cavernous, pickly mouth.
Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, I see it. Okay, so why are we talking about this again? Oh, because it's pickles, and
Stump
the dad
Patty
said he doesn't want...
Maybe Stump Pickles. Stump Pickles and Pickles.
Stump Pickles.
We're a pickle business. We've dropped the burgers. It's just a bun with the pickle in it.
We serve burgers on the side, but everybody knows that our real passion is definitely the pickles.
Yeah, it's the pickles, and you're at the back going, fucking hate pickles.
Yeah, and you'll turn yourself into a pickle. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Funniest shit I've ever seen. Speaking of people getting themselves into a financial pickle,
Ooh.
2 Patreons, brand new to our Patreon.
Patrons.
At
they're patrons.
patreon.com/subpar, but in HD. So our brand new Patreons on our Patreon is Floymer. Fuck off. Fuck yourself, Floymer. Fuck you.
And Ammo Bros.
Fuck
I
you.
like you, Ammo Bros. No, not fuck. I like his style.
No, fuck him. We have to fuck him
Right.
legally.
Okay, sorry, Ammo Bros. Okay.
Yeah, legally we have to
I'll
fuck
do
him.
what has to be done. Fuck you, Ammo Bros. And
Fuck
don't forget,
you.
everybody, that if you do want to support us, and regular podcasts will come back, we genuinely, truly, actually have been swamped with work that you guys will love when it comes out. But after that, we're going back to streaming and podcasting and all the like. If you want to support us to do our future endeavors, patreon.com/subparbnhd, as Stumpy mentioned. We also have merch. I'm not wearing any.
You look
today.
down as if it's a video podcast, and then secondly, as if you're wearing our merch.
No, I looked down to see if I was, because I don't like lying to the people. You always tell me to lie,
not.
but I don't. I'm wearing some Slazenger shorts in grey, but I am wearing the lovely Slazenger shorts. And I am wearing, shut up, let me speak, I am wearing the lovely Endpoint hoodie. So go to
Very nice.
shop.endpoint.gg or whatever.
No, that's not their URL, nor should people do that, because fuck Endpoint. No one cares. I casted for Endpoint recently, some CSGO.
That was weird.
I was out of my depth.
Yeah, that was stuff. Because, right, so Endpoint Pete comes to me and Stumpy in our private chat, who's the COO of Endpoint, and he's like, any of you guys want to cast some CSGO with Spiffing
Brit, yeah, member of the Yogscast.
And I'm away from my computer, and I'm like, Stumpy's gonna, isn't he? So I at Stumpy. Because the thing is, like, your hubris will never allow you to say no. If Endpoint Pete had said, hey guys, anybody want to jump off a cliff with the Spiffing Brit from
I'd give it a go.
Yogscast, you'd be like, yeah, I will. So I could just send you off to your death, and you'd happily volunteer.
Yeah, if I thought it was going to make good content, I'd do it. But yeah, I ended up casting some CSGO, and it was one of those things where when I watch CSGO, I listen to everything they're saying, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And I've never been in the situation where I'm having to make sense in CSGO. It's unreal how hard that is. Like, it's actually so incredible how good CSGO casters are. And Spiff, he had never casted before, but he had played a lot of CSGO. He's watched a lot of CSGO, big fan of it all. And so he knew sort of everything that was going on, like how a Rocket League fan would know about flip resets and rotations and like what Squishy is best at, etc. And he was doing that with the Endpoint lads, who are a lower tier of CS. And
top 30.
It was, top 30, for 2 weeks in a row now. And he was doing such a fantastic job of explaining everything to me as the layman. And I really appreciated that. And he's a really nice guy to chat to. And the following day, I ended up playing some Among Us with Hat Films and Sips. And Spiff was there. And it was really cool because he was like, hey, Stumpy, we casted CSGO yesterday. And I was like, yeah, we did, Spiff. Oh, how lovely. So, yeah.
It must have been nice to be in a world where you actually understood what was going on and didn't have to say,
great.
Spiff, why is he shooting the gun?
I did at one point.
Well, Stumpy.
Tried to drop in like a bit of knowledge, and he goes, not quite.
What was the knowledge?
And I'm pretty sure I went, oh, fair enough.
Can you remember what it was?
I can't. I think it was something to do with like one of the buys that they'd gone for. I remember being really proud because I identified a Galil from a gun silhouette.
That bit.
And I was like, yes.
I did see that bit. We should play some CSGO. I've been watching a lot of CSGO recently, and I want to give it another go playing. But basically, whenever I played CSGO before, I played it with people in our community that have, let's say, 1,000 hours.
Yeah.
So they're not gods, but they know what they're doing. And in any game, if you're up against someone who's put in 1,000 hours and you've put in 40 hours, you're not going to have that much fun in a game with no respawns. Yeah. And I think that put me off CSGO. So I'd love to play with a bunch of newbies again at some point. And just like, I want it to be where we've both got an AK, we're aiming at each other, we're spraying around all over the place and missing, we both reload, someone else comes in with a pistol and stabs us with a knife, and like, proper messy CSGO is what I want to try.
That would be fun, and people would hate it. people would hate watching, but it would be fantastic. I'd enjoy it because I'm not very good at CS:GO either, and
let's give it a game
it would be
sometime.
nice to be shit with other shitters. But yeah, so a little bit of that's been happening, which has been fun. But the main thing that's been going on, of course, is the RLCS. We are recording this after not being able to chat through Regional 3, really, because that's another thing that's happened. That was all smooshed into 1 week for both EU and NA, so we didn't really have too much time there because we were doing our project as well as casting all that, as well as doing our literal actual TV show, and as well as trying to keep our girlfriends relatively happy by not spending all of our time in our office. But lots has happened before we get to the Rocket League. An even more important bracket has been being played out because as part of Doomsy's return to Twitter, as it does seem to be, because he took a little bit of a hiatus, he has been running a top 32 best Rocket League songs of all time bracket. And it's been controversial.
It has indeed, because Doomsy's sort of been the judge, jury, and executioner. To be fair to him, basically, he came up with what he believed was the top 32 songs and put them in a single elimination bracket. I don't know if he seeded them in his mind. He thought, this is the best, this is the 32nd, I'll put those together. Or if he just put them at random in those 32.
I'm not sure.
But to be fair, he actually did come to you and me, Stumpy, and say, hey, have I missed any good songs? And I was like, nah, that's cool.
I don't know the names of them.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm so, with any song, I'm so shit at remembering the name. But if somebody shows me it, I'll be like, oh, it's this. I know that song. I recognize that. That's by this band. But I'm so bad at thinking, okay, what's my favorite song from this album or from Rocket League? I think I thought of Therapy and Glide, which are my 2 favorite songs in Rocket League.
Oh, that's tough, isn't it?
I don't. Yeah, it's been a tough day. It's been a very tough day for me. But yeah, it's hard to think of them on the spot. I'm not good at that.
So what I hadn't realised was that Doomsy hadn't included For Me, which is my favourite. I think that is
which one's that
stunningly
again?
For me, bill, 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 and then it has the bass bit going. It was in the advert. It was in the advert for. It was like Japanesey anime. Bill, 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 bill. Yeah. And then the bass goes diddle-a-doo, diddle-a-doo, diddle-a-doo.
Is this one that when you said about it, I said it was fine? Because I think it was fine, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like the drums at the beginning. Where they're going, da-na-na-na-na, and then you hear the sort of army-ish.
I can feel it coming in the... Is it Phil Collins? I know Phil Collins.
People were annoyed that Spell wasn't there. I listened to that one. It's sort of
all of these.
Yeah, I did too. I've already forgotten how it sounds. It's sort of
hang on.
All right.
Let me sing it to you. Do I recognise it? Oh, hang on. It's one of those under my sin. It's Hollywood Principle.
My Love wasn't in there.
Oh, this one's...
Do you know My Love?
This one's fine. Oh, I need to search that as well. Was it My Love?
My Love, yeah.
My love, my lovely lady loves.
Sadly not. It's the one that goes with you tonight. Ba-da-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na. All right.
See, the issue with all of this music to me is that I would listen to these and presume they were on a copyright-free playlist.
That's harsh. There is a step up to these.
They sound so similar to me. And that's not a slight at the artist, that's a slight at my shit brain. Because I cannot distinguish between so many of them. The amount of times that people have suggested a song and they're on our stream or whatever, no more. And they have said, oh, this one's so sick, this slaps. Okay, I'll listen to it. And to me, it sounds royalty free. And it feels harsh because I just can't enjoy them. It annoys me.
Everybody, Stumpy doesn't appreciate, what's it called? Home by, what are they called?
Edward thingy.
No, not Edward Sharp. It's Home by,
Oh, I've searched it on YouTube and it says Home of Games and the next one is Home Pussy.
Home Pussy.
What's Home Pussy?
Home by Resonance, which is one that goes like...
Oh, yeah. Again, it sounds like royalty-free music. It wouldn't be out of place on that playlist. in my shitting.
Yeah, that's fair, mate. One day I'll put some headphones on you while you're sleeping, and you'll get really into it, and you'll feel the same sense of, I don't know, it takes you back. It makes you reminisce.
But it doesn't, because I've not heard it.
No, that's the genius of it. It instantly makes you feel, you reminisce of the good old days. It's lovely. But yeah, people also were annoyed that Walking on the Moon wasn't on there.
Walking on the moon. The thing is, a lot of these songs are ones that are on the RLCS soundtrack. That play every week, in every break, on every stream, and I mute it almost every single time.
Yeah,
I can't stand them.
Mm-hmm. One idiot called Oh My Hessness wanted Burning Up in there. And Burning Up, it starts off sort of average.
It does, yeah, it's fine, yeah.
And then its breakdown is a bit like...
If people have listened to the RLCS stream, and it is the very ultimately out of place song that is very dubstep and very heavy. It does not appeal to the masses, which every song in an ad break should. Like these other songs that are on there, ultimately the only reason why I don't want to listen to them loads is because I've already listened to them loads. Otherwise, they're pretty unassuming, they do their job, they fill in time, right? Having Burning Up play, and we've said this to Psionics when we've had meetings with them. I said to them, can we not have that? Because I listen to it and I have to mute. There's a video on my Twitter of it coming on and I'm just shaking my middle finger at my TV because
that is Burning Up, isn't it?
So much.
And that was before all this conversation happened as well. That was a while ago. And a few people were like, it's beautiful, what you're talking about.
So bad. It's awful. But as I was speaking of Glide and therapy, first of all, Love You, Need You, which is I love you, love you, I do, I need you, need you, I do, I love you, I do, I need you,
love you. Annoying noise.
It's like no. That's not how you sung it. That's not how it is in the song.
It is. It's like a stupid high pitched reverb effect.
It's not that bad.
Love you, and then there's like bubbly noises. Love you, need you, need you, need you. That's what I hear when I hear.
You look like an insane one-man band right now. Love you, need you,
love you, need you. Please love me.
I'd flick a 2p at you in Covent Garden, and just so you'd stop.
You never give to charity, so that's unbelievable. Thanks, man.
So Glide was up against Love You, Need You, and I don't know how it won because Glide is easily in my top 3 of songs. It's a saxophone song.
Yeah, it's the one where Dig Dog plays his hand saxophone.
As people will all know.
Yeah, exactly.
So guys, just remember back to the point where you would have seen Dig Dog play his hand trumpet.
Hey, listen, you. It was in the 2015 SubPar but in HD vlog. Go and watch it, everybody. It features
Dig Dog.
Dig Dog.
Hurt my ankle.
Yeah, you were limping all over the place. And Dig Dog was playing his hand trumpet.
I twisted my ankle about 4 times in London. I never should have gone. But yeah, Love You, Need You come up against Glide, and Glide lost. And Glide is easily a top 3 song, and that was genuinely gutting. Love You, Need You is fine. It's good. It's fine. It does a job. And then also Therapy, which is a top 3 song as well, I would say. That ended up losing first round 2 against Seeing What's Next.
Second round, to be fair. Therapy beat Seeing What's Next.
Yes, it did, yeah.
Then it lost to Bone Dry. How does Bone Dry go?
I searched before we started. And I remember thinking, oh, you know what, fair play, that is actually a decent song.
Oh, this one. Yeah, it's all right. I prefer Therapy to this one. Therapy's not my favourite, but I prefer it to Bone Dry.
Yeah, enough. Bone Dry is another RLCS song, and people will like it for that. I think there are 2 songs that I'm going to be annoyed. There's 2 songs that right now will be presumably meeting in the semi-finals, and that's going to annoy me because I think this should be the top 2. Don't Stop the Party.
Yep.
And Breathing Underwater.
With you there for both.
Both of those songs need to be in the finals. They can't be now, but they should get through into those semis.
Not just for song quality as well, but also because they're from the same era. They represent the same direction of Rocket League music. They're the OGs. It should be the 2 OGs going against each other, against the new kid on the block, your Bone Dry, your Outbreaks, your Weapon, whatever that is, and Love You, Need You.
What's
to see... who knows, mate?
I'm honestly so shit at songs. I'm just going to search Weapon Monster Cat, and I'm just going to presume that it is that. Oh yeah, Grant, Weapon, okay.
Oh yeah, it's another noise one. Just noises.
How the fuck has this got this far?
Just know that. Yeah, that's just noises.
I remember Hours being a good song.
Hours.
I'll tell you what. That's a really good song. Fair play. Yeah, that's a good one.
It is. The top half of this bracket is definitely better than the bottom half of this bracket. And for anybody listening, if you want to go and vote on who's left, Break Me, Don't Stop the Party, Breathing Underwater, Hours, Bone Dry, Outbreak, Weapon, and Love You Need You, then go to twitter.com/DOOMSEEE.
Yeah, it's 3 E's, yeah.
In Doomsy's Twitter name, and you can have a vote and have a good time. And just an aside, by the way, Endpoint have just tweeted, #announcement, @Noble Chairs have been supporting our butts and backs for over 3 years now. We're incredibly happy to be renewing our partnership with them. Hey. Want a chair as durable as our relationship? Can we get a Noble chair?
Why have we just advertised shitty Endpoint on our, quite frankly, incredible podcast?
Because I want a chair.
Right, Cole. I want you to reply to them verbatim. You ready?
With SubPar or Cole?
I'll let you decide.
SubPar.
Oh, harsh.
Okay. Come on, mate.
SubPar. Say, all lowercase as well with this, by the way.
Okay.
I know people think it's me then. Okay, capital B for butts. Start it off with butts. Butts question mark.
Okay.
I like butts. Hee hee.
Yep. So capital I, was that for I?
Capital I, yeah. Proper cool goal tweet, this one. If this tweet...
Full stop after the hee or...
No.
Okay.
If this tweet reaches 69 retweets...
Can I put brackets LOL, LOL in caps for 69 retweets?
Yeah, I like that, yeah. 69 retweets, bracket. No, ruffle. Brackets ruffle.
Okay, in caps.
In caps, yeah.
What about the mouth? Because it's talking about butts.
Okay, yeah, go on then.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Okay.
So where are you at? I forgot.
Butts question mark. I like butts. Hee. If this tweet reaches 69 retweets, brackets Lamau, close brackets.
Can Stumpy get a chair? And Cole, a footstool. I don't know if they sell Noble footstools, but it'll be interesting to see if they do. Thank you. And then @Endpoint Pete.
Peter Thompson. Okay. Butts. I like butts. Hee. If this tweet reaches 69 retweets, brackets Lamau, can Stumpy get a chair? Haha, full stop. New paragraph. So you'll like this. I did a new paragraph.
Okay.
And then in lowercase, and Cole a footstool. Full stop.
Get rid of the full stop at the end, and just have and Cole a footstool @Endpoint Pete or whatever his thing is.
Because I don't have thank you @Endpoint Pete. I'll get rid of the thank you. It's funny about the thank you.
Okay,
and Cole a footstool @Endpoint Pete.
Yeah, @Endpoint Pete. Yeah. Okay.
Shall I say a noble footstool or just
just a footstool?
Okay.
Yeah. Dealer's
footstool,
choice.
Brilliant. Okay, cool.
Tweeted.
Done. Yep, done.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure that. Yeah, I see it. I'll give it a like. And Cole a footstool @Endpoint Pete. Okay, well let's see. He might DM us, be like, "The fuck are you doing? Like, what have you done?"
We're trying to be impressive to what they called Noble chairs. My favourite chair brand.
They are my favourite chair brand.
Much better than GT Omega. They're useless.
Jesus. Too fair.
Got a bad back at the moment, and I'm not saying it's not.
So do I. I mean, I've looked at Herman Miller chairs, but equally £1,000 for a chair. Are you fucking kidding me?
Just get a free one from Noble.
That's a very good point. All right, so that
Should
is.
we talk about flipping Rocket League in this podcast?
Yes, that's the greatest songs dealt with. Easy peasy. We are looking forward to the playoffs weekend now because tonight, that's right, tonight is South America as we are recording this, and hopefully it'll be going out today as well. And we're going to be looking at the brackets for South America tonight, Europe tomorrow, and then NA over on Sunday. And we're going to be having a little look through and seeing what our predictions will be going through these. So if you guys, want to play along, let us know what you end up going with on Twitter. Fill it out as we go through as well. Just look on Wikipedia and copy and paste theirs because that's what we're going through. But, Cole, South America, we casted a bit of it. And I think it was cool to see another region with players that I didn't know and didn't necessarily know what to expect from them either. Because a lot of them were players that we have not heard of, and we've had to sort of have a look at some of the replays, have a look at the stats and whatever, and then we might know some of the others. So players from 11s, for example, are ones that we might know a bit more of. 3 Sins as well. As a region, I'm excited to see where it goes.
I was impressed with South America. There's certainly points where I'm sort of looking at them and I'm sort of screaming, no, don't do that, do this instead, because the decisions are a little bit different than what you'd see in other regions. But that's a process. And obviously with not having lands, it makes it much tougher for this region to grow. So hopefully when lands are back, they'll be able to face off against the EU CNAs. I mean, that's where OCE really suddenly started being a real opponent to EU and NA, when they started playing them more regularly in DreamHacks, etc. South America is not quite there yet, but there certainly is some beautiful plays, particularly in attack. It's solo plays really that are the king in South America. I'd say that where they fall is their defensive rotations weren't quite good enough just yet, but it's just a case of theory rather than mechanics. You know, they just need to make the decision to cover the backboard. Once they do, suddenly all these double taps will be suppressed and people have to figure out a new way to score against them. But which team stood out for you? There's one in particular that I really liked for reasons I'll get to, but are there any that from the games that you saw you loved? You were like, these guys are the top of South America.
So we casted PDHM and I thought they were quite fun to watch. I think as a team, because of the players that they've got and the ones that I recognise, and because of the org that's kind of behind them, 11s are the ones that I would have my eyes on the most, because they are theoretically the top of South America across the entirety of their regional equivalents. They have been at the top. When we were casting them, or when we were casting South America, they actually ended up going 3-1. They were beaten by, I believe, 3 sins.
Atypical. They were beaten by.
Atypical, that was it, yeah.
Who made it through in 5.
Yeah, which was through a complete spanner in the works by all accounts. So I think 11s to me, they're the interesting ones because they've got more of that sort of that world stage clout where people will recognise those names. There were memes made about them by CJ back during the viewing parties and stuff like that. So 11s, I'd like to watch them and see what they have to offer and see if they are genuinely a step ahead of the rest of South America, because they've been touted as such so far. But I've not personally seen that in the ultimately quite minimal number of games that I've seen of them.
I was a fan of the team that you mentioned at first, actually, PDHM, for a couple of reasons. One, and arguably the main reason, is that their name doesn't stand for anything that I can see. So we got to spend the entire cast thinking of things that PDHM could stand for. My favourite being probably, definitely, maybe. So as we were casting them, we were like, do you reckon? Yeah, PDHM. Probably, definitely, maybe.
PDHM. I'm looking at their website, and it doesn't say... Oh, wait, about.
I bet it's really boring.
It's a quote, actually, from Richard Rivera. We're a multi-platform professional esports organisation founded in 2011. Success has been our cornerstone for years. What started as a group of friends quickly turned into an organisation much larger than we had ever expected, but still we hold true to our original principles. Join us as we continue our journey, growing as a team, family, brand, and an organisation.
Doesn't say what it stands for then. So it could, in theory, stand for, please don't harm me.
It could do. It's very true. Or, podiatrists don't hit mice.
Is that true, though? If there are any podiatrists...
Is that kids or feet?
The age-old question.
Is it kids or feet? Podiatry. Because you have a paediatrician.
And pedicure.
Because it's pedi and pedo.
Yeah.
Imagine being a specifically kid foot doctor. How much of a fucking creep would you have to be? To, like they're saying...
No, shut up. That's such a stupid thing to say because there's someone
you're going through doctor school and they're saying, I want to be I want to be like a cardiovascular surgeon. Oh, amazing. I want to do brain surgery. Oh, that's so cool. I want to focus on the pancreas. Oh, amazing. What do you want to do, Gary? Oh, I quite like kids' feet.
That's so stupid. So stupid to say. Because you might have a child that can't walk properly and you will be absolutely...
And I'm giving him to a fucking pervert to fix their feet. No, thank you.
You will be so grateful to Gary. It's like, the arch of the foot's a bit raw. I'll just stretch that out. And you'll be like, oh, you horrible man. But actually, little Timmy's there, walking along ganglingly.
And he gets his hands on little Timmy's feet and goes, oh. And he's stretching out his foot. Mate, you're
He's a trained doctor. He's signed the Hippocratic Oath, all right? You're an idiot, mate. Anyway, PDHM, they were really good. They liked taking a touch which I liked, which is something that I noticed that a lot of South American teams didn't do. They didn't realize at the time that they had. PDHM were really good at saying, oh, I've got 3 seconds on the ball. I'm not just going to blast it back at my opponents who are already in goal. So I'm backing them. Do you know what? I'm backing them to win. 11's useless. PDHM are going to beat Noble Esports. Then they're going to smash True Neutral. Then in the finals against 11's, it's going to be a big bad 4-0.
Noble Esports were one of the teams that I looked at, and that's Haberkamper, Firefox, and Renan. And I looked at some of their games, and they seem to be one of the teams that properly realised that whiffs were a big factor. They'd just hit it high, and they'd beat a whiff on the backboard, and then they could score. They'd hit it into an awkward position, and the other team would just miss it. The amount of times that I saw a member of Noble Esports go up for a shot, absolutely unchallenged, was more often than not. And it was frustrating to look at. Like, guys, all you need to do is just challenge. It doesn't matter if you get it, you're cutting off an angle. And I think South America is a little bit behind in that regard. But when LANs are back, they're going to have that beaten out of them.
Actually, I take it back. Noble Esports are going to win the whole thing because Noble chairs are the best. And pretty much everything with the word Noble in it, you can't go wrong.
Paid off? Like
I want a footstool. Sorry that I want a footstool.
You sound like a German just wanting to have a game of sport.
Futsal? I want to play futsal.
Futsal?
I play futsal.
Is that the table one or is that the little ball one?
No, you're thinking of foosball, which is what the Americans call table football. Futsal it's like 5-a-side, maybe 4-a-side.
It's the little ball, isn't it?
It's a bit smaller. It's also heavier.
Yeah.
It's like weighted. So when you kick it, you don't kick it with like the side of your foot. You sort of roll it forwards. It's pretty fun.
That sounds shit. Can't you lace it?
Yeah, I'm sure once you get to the professional standards, they allow you to lace it. But until then, there are rules about.
Can you toe punt it?
You can toe punt anything if you believe. You can toe punt in ultimate frisbee if you really want to. You can sort of kick a frisbee.
I do remember when I went bowling for like my 12th birthday or 13th birthday or something, and we were like doing that classic thing where you get bored of normal bowling, so then you.
Just bowl. It's pathetic, 10 rounds. Mate. Yeah, just throw the ball at the pins. What do you mean you get bored?
All right, so you do the classic things. Everybody does it. Everyone just gets a bit bored, right? And then we just ended up sort of like kicking the bowling ball just like down or whatever. But I remember one of my mates doing it, and I was like, oh, that looks fun. So I don't know why, I decided to try and lace it. And it really hurt. Like it bruised the entire top of my foot.
Quite solid. Yeah, that
really
me.
solid. Yeah, it was. But as soon as I did it, I thought, "Oh, stupid! Clearly, that's not how you're meant to do that."
Do you not find it most fun to get better and better as you go along? You can sort of feel your aim improving. The number goes up. Like, oh, will I get over? I don't know. Let's say 100, or will I not? And that's the challenge. You need to get 1 strike out of your last 3, and then you'll get whatever target it is, whether it's 300 or 70. You'll get it if you just try hard enough, and eventually you'll get your accuracy in.
I want you to answer that question for me.
No, I don't enjoy doing that.
To an extent, I'd be like, oh, I want to hit the pins hard.
Yeah.
I want to absolutely them. But equally, if someone's off like doing an arcade machine, I'd rather just fuck off and do that.
Can I have your throws?
No, I'd be annoyed if you did.
I knew you'd say that.
I'm literally the worst of both worlds. But then I remember on the London after party was bowling. I think I bowled about 3 times, and then I went and got drunk and played like table football.
I mean, that was the one where there wasn't enough food, wasn't it? Do you remember? Everyone was just starving after a day of shouting.
There wasn't not enough food. There wasn't food.
There was no food then, yeah. Fair point. And we were just like, please, just give me some crisps. And in like the private party bit, what's it called, the VIP area, there were like some skips. And they were like the coolest kids in town because they had a few skips. And it's like, oh, please give me a skip.
Now, Psyonix will tell me off for this, I'm sure. Or maybe they won't care because it's quite funny. It was... I'm gonna drop the Sunless Khan in it as well. Because we were at the after party and we were both obviously drinking and we were hungry. Like, real hungry, like really starving. And everyone was starting to leave. And so the security on the VIP bit got lax. And me and him just saw a table of like chips and burgers and hot dogs and stuff. And so we just looked at it, and I remember, I don't know who suggested it. I'll say that I suggested it, but I don't know if I did. And I was just like, mate, that's free. Look, no one's guarding it. And he was like, yeah, go on then. So we just both snuck into the VIP bit, and genuinely, fists of chips and just eating them, and like got a burger, took one bite and then put it down, got a hot dog, took a bite, and we just had a bite or two of every single thing on this table because everyone was leaving. Like, we weren't taking it away from anyone, it would have been chucked away or whatever. And as soon as we were done with it, we were nice and full up, and then we went to the casino. But I remember eyeing him up and just being like, that's a lot of food there, and I really am quite hungry.
While you were doing that, were you going...
I wish. Proper Sir Digby Chicken Caesar mode.
Hey, good reference getting. I reckon there's a good 40% of people listening to this.
I think
got
so.
The reference I just made, and 60% that didn't. Let us know on Twitter. Did you get the reference of in a world where psionics don't provide enough food, two men fight through the barrier?
It was good. I had a good time because we just stuffed our dumb faces, like quite happily, drunkly slopping like chips into our mouths.
You could have like Robin Hooded it and just got yourselves like a fistful of each and just jumped around in like the dance floor going, people, I bring food! Just throwing chips around everywhere.
That, I presume I was wearing a hoodie at the time, just stuffing my pockets full of cheeseburger. Because bear in mind also, all of this food was cold.
Oh, I bet it was disgustingly cold.
So like, and I remember it being really dry because like, obviously it's all cold, so like it's all, you're not getting a lot of the juice anymore. So like, I could have gone out just with pockets stuffed to the brim with dry, cold cheeseburgers out into the crowd and just fed the masses like Jesus.
Fed some absolute nerds from your hoodie pockets. Just go, sit in front of me, child. I will pour
like a baby bird. Please eat my chips.
That'd make it wet again if you were regurgitating it, to be fair.
Very true. But yes, that was very fun. Okay, so South America, I reckon... I want to give it to Noble because I think they are cool. I liked how they played. They did seem to be the only other team from the looks of things that could take it to 11s and actually be a factor that might stop them from just running riot and being the only team that has read, oh, there are whiffs, there are double commits and everything. They seem to both be exploiting the region.
I'm pretty sure that Haberkamper as well is the only defensive player in the entirety of South America. The others do not care. They're like, yeah, give me a turn to do a double tap flip reset. Whereas Haberkamper was like, I'll cover the backboard. And his teammates were like, oh, that makes sense for you to do that. That's pretty useful, actually. Yeah, cheers, Haberkamper.
Okay, so Europe, mate. Europe's now on the cards. That's our next playoffs, because that'll be on Saturday. And we are casting it. How exciting, Cole. We are casting Europe Major Playoffs. Firstly, that is nuts. Thank you so much, Psionics.
Oh, yeah, they are putting a continual amount of faith in us. This is the fourth occasion we'll have casted on the mainstream. We did EU playoffs for Regional 1, Regional 2, and Regional 3. On each occasion, we've done the pre-show with Shogun and Johnny, which is always a right laugh. And then Stumpy and I in Regional 1, we casted one quarterfinal, and in Regionals 2 and 3, we casted two quarterfinals. This major, everything is blown the F word up. It's all changing. Stumpy, you've already tweeted out that you're going to be casting, as well as with me, also with Wavepunk, who is somebody that we have fanboyed over for many years for his casting ability. And I found out about an hour ago, genuinely about an hour ago, that I'm going to be casting for the first time ever with Jorby, who is somebody that I have been, ever since I've sort of started casting more regularly, he is somebody that I've really been looking up to, trying to, I've stolen his techniques, I'll say it. The amount of times I come to you and go, oh, Stumpy, Jorby does this, we should do this. And you're like, yes, Cole, I know that Jorby's very good, but he is truly amazing.
He's so good.
I need to make sure that I'm not just overawed by the fact that I'm sharing a microphone with Jorby, because he's so good and passionate, and he comes up with so many he comes up with similes on the fly and metaphors and phrases that I'd never think of so quickly, and he never stutters, and he's just excellent at casting. I love the man, I truly do.
So that's going to be awesome. So make sure everybody tunes in on EU Major Day. Also, as well as that European pre-show that will be going on, so myself, Cole, Johnny and Shogun, we are going to be split up on the desk. And Cole is going to be having a section with Leaf and Gibbs as the third man on that very, very iconic roster.
Yeah, that is ahead of quarterfinal number 2. And if you're thinking, surely by now that's enough, Cole and Stumpy, the very next desk segment, quarterfinal number 3, there's going to be a little Stumpy there. Smashing it.
I am so excited, like incredibly excited for this because we've wanted to work with these guys for ages. Wavepunk is a very good friend of ours. We stayed with him in LA when we went there. I absolutely adore every single person on the RLCS team. It's going to be awesome. There are also some surprises on the Sunday. We won't be saying what's going on because that's up to the people who are working on that to say.
Oh, yeah.
But make sure that you watch all of the shows because they're going to be brilliant. It's going to be mixed up. And Psyonix, thank you very much for having your faith in us to do the job that we reckon we can do pretty well. And it's nice to know that there's the faith in us to do it well. And I can't wait to hopefully do this at LAN as well with these awesome people.
Lance, it's like in the sort of like previous RLRS team, our B stream team, they've sort of welcomed us in. We said it like in the first podcast we did after the very first Regional 1 broadcast that we did, where those guys instantly, they'd make an in-joke together and instantly say, oh, Cole and Stumpy, they're referencing this. So there was no sort of like, what are they laughing at? They were so good at bringing us in. And that's just been online. They've been saying in our little private Twitter chat, like, oh, I miss the Friday evening sort of bar trips where we drink non-alcoholic water together. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Not only did you broadcast to these people, you got to hang out with them while sharing a drink, and it's like
it's like what we did at the Elite series, where beforehand, we'd go to Spoons, or we'd just order in food to the hotel, and we'd just shoot the shit and just talk about anything and about Rocket League, whatever, just about ourselves. And it's so nice to be able to see people face to face, and we so rarely get to see the North American guys who we are still very good friends with more than maybe once a year. Realistically, once a year, so it's absolutely awesome to be able to see them a bit more frequently. Hoping that can become a bit more regular. But otherwise, let's talk about this European bracket because some of these matchups are absolutely huge. Okay, so we're going to be looking at some of these or all of the matchups and doing our own bracket. Make sure that you play along at home as well. So the first one is BDS versus FC Barcelona, and I am confident in BDS's ability to do very well here and probably win it all.
Yes, I think it would be right if BDS were to win the entire regional or Vitality. As you know, Sumpy, and the viewers know, I am somebody who likes to see the best team win on the day. I don't want to see someone... sometimes I do, but when it's like the main thing and it's been a season behind it and BDS have been the best team, Vitality have been pushing them all the way, I think if one of those teams weren't to win, it would to an extent be a shame. Obviously they have to perform on the day, and if they don't, then they've only got themselves to blame. But yeah, so for this first series, BDS 3-0'd Barca when last they played in the Swiss stage of this major. I think they could do it again. I think they could just blitz past Barca, and that's no insult towards Barcelona. They're in fine form, and they're finally showing the consistency we always wanted from them. But BDS is just that next step up. And when BDS have the read in a team, they generally beat them over and over again, as we've seen with Vitality, where it took Vitality like 4 attempts to beat them. So yeah, I think this will be a 3-0.
I won't disagree. I think BDS probably have it tacked on to win, but I think that Top Blokes have also got a very good chance because they've had a little bit of a slump in form, in their incredible form recently, where they haven't necessarily reached those like the finals every single time, when previously we had sort of seen them starting to do that. I think Top Blokes, will see them do pretty well, but they're a little bit of a later result, but I think they're worth mentioning in the contention for a win.
Fair.
Galaxy Racer versus Triple Trouble is our next one, because Triple Trouble all of a sudden made it here. And I don't really know how that happened, considering the fact that they have done a couple of good weeks in grid and had a good performance or two in regionals, and now suddenly they're top 8.
Do you want to go first for this one, because I went first for the last one?
Yeah, go on then.
We'll keep swapping.
Let me just write B, D, S. There we go.
Get used to writing that.
B, D. Oh, wow. We're going to put this on Twitter, and people will hate how I've written them. Galaxy Race versus Triple Trouble. I don't want to sound like I'm kind of talking down with Triple Trouble, but I don't know how they're here. Because out of all these teams that we have got, so the later ones are Top Blokes Endpoint and then Vitality Giants, the odd one out is Triple Trouble. I would love for them to do well, but Galaxy Racer have had a really fantastic run of form recently and are a team that is very much a top 8 team. So I think Galaxy Racer take it. I don't know what their previous results have been actually against each other. I don't know if you've got that up at all. Why can't I write a 3?
I don't have their previous results against each other. What I do have is Triple Trouble's placings for each regional. Okay. So in regional event 1, they were 1 series away from the playoffs. It was Triple Trouble that lost to Dignitas in the 5th series, which let Dignitas in. Then in regional event 2 and regional event 3, they finished 17th to 22nd in each, which I believe means they were 1 series away from stage 2 and then didn't make it. I think that's what puts you in that bracket.
Yes, it will do, yeah.
Yes, they lost the 5th, so they lost the 5th in both times. So this is the team that... I mean, they squeaked their way into the major in the first place. They have already achieved more than anybody expected to be in this playoffs today. Yeah, absolutely. They performed well. You know, they beat Guild, they beat Endpoint 3-2, Endpoint with all their game 5s, and then 3-1 against the Giants is by far and away probably their most impressive result, because I love the Giants. I love how they play. So yeah, Triple Trouble are good, but I just think Galaxy Racer, they've had a consistent upsurge in form. I wouldn't be disappointed if Galaxy Racer ended up being the team that won it. You know, I think they'd be a lot more worthy of the result than a team like Triple Trouble would. In theory, obviously on the day this is all subject to change. But yeah, ever since Galaxy Racer replaced Taz with Arju, they've stepped up, and I didn't anticipate that happening. So it's actually one of the rare occasions where a roster change is 100% the right decision. I'll go 3-1 Galaxy Racer.
Yeah, I've gone 3-2 for mine because I feel like it's not a tadpole loss unless it was tantalizingly close.
True.
It has to be annoying.
Yeah, upsetting.
Okay, so we've both got Galaxy Racer going through. Now, this next one's going to be a bit of a heartbreaker, I feel, because this is now Top Blokes versus Endpoint, where Top Blokes have had the majority of the wins versus Endpoint and are kind of finding their plateau in the top 4 in Europe. They had a very good stint in second place. I think Top Blokes take it. I think that's very controversial. But Endpoint have done pretty well, however, do manage to bottle it when it really does matter. We casted their unofficial week number 10 in the grid, and they managed to absolutely throw it away versus Barcelona. And so we'll have to go through the qualifier again. So I think Top Blokes take it 3, and again, it has to be tantalizingly close. It's a 3-2.
I'll go with 3-1 to Top Blokes. They are just a bit of a better team. Endpoint do have the potential to perform better than Top Blokes on the day, but I think that Top Blokes are going to be really ready for this one. They had their mistake in the Regional 3 quarterfinals, did Top Blokes, and normally when a team like that lets you off the hook once, in the case of Top Blokes, they won't do it again. So I think this will be quite comfortable actually for Top Blokes.
Okay, and then the final one is going to be Vitality versus Giants, which is probably the biggest toss-up out of any of these. I can see that going either way. Giants have had a decent run of form and seem to have a chip on their shoulder once Tox returned from his 72-hour ban, and they had to kind of make up lost ground when they had to bring in their sub to play instead. And I am going to say Giants 3, Vitality. Can I do 3-3-2s in a row? Yeah, I think I can. 3-2 because I'm an absolute slut for a game 5.
Oh, that's looking all right, your bracket. I agree with you. I've got a feeling that Giants are going to take this one. I don't know why, and I think 3-2 as well. I don't think that Vitality are going to play badly. You know, there's been games, particularly against BDS, of course, but also against Fadeaway in the past as well, where Vitality haven't looked like the premium team. I think on this occasion, Vitality will look like the premium team, but also Giants Gaming will rise to the occasion and play just as well as Renner Vitality and deservedly beat them in an absolute banger of a series. 3-2 to me for Giants Gaming, and suddenly the whole thing is blown wide open and BDS fans are already counting their money because they assume they're going to win.
That's the thing. Like, then looking at the bracket that we've both got, so the semis are BDS versus Galaxy Racer and then Top Blokes versus Giants. Looking at that, I'd say, BDS have won them. Like, they've just won. If Vitality was down there, I'd say maybe they haven't just yet. But yeah, very, very strong team. I'm happy that we've both gone Giants because I just have it in my head that it's not even that Vitality will be finding a level of complacency, because that's not how any of them play. It's just going to be that I think Giants are very, very hungry and will happily rise to the occasion of having to outspeed, outplay, outmaneuver Vitality in every single aspect.
I tell you what, I think that, well, actually, looking at our brackets, both Top Blokes and, tell you what, I'm jumping ahead. Let's do semi-final one. So BDS versus Galaxy Racer. I think this is where BDS really start to build up their obscene amounts of momentum. Yeah. And they beat Galaxy Racer 4-0. They just smashed them into the ground. They've done it before, and I can see them doing it again. Galaxy Racer, they're a good team, but they still haven't really been tested. They haven't been 2-0 down on a best of 7, 3-0 down on a best of 7. We don't know how they fight when their backs are really up against the wall. I think they will improve in that regard as they go on, but this will be one step too many at their early stage. So yeah, BDS, they are smashing it at this point in my world.
I mean, we have seen when BDS are on a roll and they have 4-0'd Giants in a grand finals that everyone was slating to be one of the best grand finals that we could have back in the regionals. So, yeah, I don't think that's too out of the realms of possibility. I'm going to say, though, Galaxy Racer take the first one and then no more. I'll say 4-1 BDS because it's quite not rare to have a 4-0, but I feel like it's more likely for a team to, at least for the first game, they have a go. So the first game or the last game, right? Or the penultimate game, I suppose, where either they take it and then they get smashed, or they start getting smashed, then they figure it out, and then the other team just usurps them once again. So, yeah, I think one game will be taken by Galaxy Racer, but otherwise a 4-1 to BDS. And then our other semi-finals is Top Blokes versus Giants. And in this matchup, I'm looking at Top Blokes to take it for me. Okay. Because Giants have had, in our world, a good win against Vitality. They're feeling confident, but as have Top Blokes. And they have had a slightly easier time, ultimately, of taking down a lower tier team than Vitality. Would it be Giants? Yeah, I have 4... slut for a game 7, do you know what I mean? 4-3. It's got to be a long old day. It's going to be a long day for us regardless. But yeah, I think the semi-finals are going to be very, very good. I'm worried that the grand finals might be a blowout purely because sometimes we do see that, and I think BDS worry me with the fact that they have blown out Giants before, and it's a little bit, they can kind of become a bit unfair. Like taking a nuke to a nursery. Like, it's just a little bit mean.
Please don't use that analogy this weekend, mate. Okay, let's just get that one out of our systems now. So who have you gone with? You've gone Top Blokes 4, Giants 3. I think that Giants build on their momentum versus Vitality. You don't beat Vitality in an absolute banger of a series. Again, in my world, Vitality weren't playing badly. Giants just played better. And then suddenly lose that when the pressure is on and you're moving to your semi-finals. That is where you really sort of keep that momentum going and build upon it. I think this one could be Giants 4, Top Blokes 2. We're going to see a Tox masterclass. He is going to be everywhere that Top Blokes don't want him to be. His mechanics are going to be working out, so the solo players are coming in. He very rarely overcommits, does Tox. He is actually incredibly disciplined as a player. Yeah, his rotational game is as strong as pretty much anybody else's in EU, in my opinion. And I think that Top Blokes are a team that if they don't have control of the game, they look a lot worse and they start to get frustrated and panic a little bit. It's when they get that control at the beginning where they then don't let it go. And I think Giants are going to wrestle it from them pretty fast. And while Top Blokes will get a couple in a best of 7, it's going to be Giants to lose.
One worry that I have got, and always have had about Top Blokes is if Archie's not there, it's GG. Like, if he's just not performing, you can't realistically then rely on Casio to fill in that same spot, nor Flame. You can't just think, oh, okay, one of them will step up. Say that about Giants. If Tox isn't performing, then I think you will then just see Zamway or State just come in and take one of the positions and alleviate some pressure to then let Tox do more floaty rotations. And he does like to sit on those side walls. Same with Zamway, really. And I guess all three of them, they like to sit on the side walls and just try and stop it from crossing that halfway line, get it central again. So, yeah, I think if Archie isn't playing, it's for Giants. But if he is, I think it's much closer. Okay, so I've got Top Blokes in the finals versus BDS, and you've got BDS versus Giants. You want to go with yours first?
Okay, you're not going to like it. I've been having a look at BDS's results against Top Blokes and the Giants. Top Blokes in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
would have beaten them every single time, right?
In the only 8 series against BDS since these sort of teams were formed, they've beaten BDS once. In the field, week 3.
Okay, fair enough.
And Giants in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games they've had against BDS. Giants have beaten BDS twice. One of them was in the grid and it was 4-3, so fair enough. And the other was in the grid 3-0. So they have beaten BDS a couple of times, but BDS have got overwhelming win percentages against both of these teams across the entire range of the RLCS. So from the field to playoffs, right? And BDS continue that form, and they fill in the script as we all expect it. I'll go 4-1. I think I'm going to steal your storyline from BDS against Galaxy Racer, where Giants take game 1, and then the BDS engine revs into life, and they just blow Giants away, and they are undoubtedly the best team in EU.
I will say BDS also win. As you were saying that, I filled in both of our BDSs with 4, and I think I'm going to be a cliche machine. 4-3, Game 7 overtime.
Game 7 overtime?
Yeah, OT. And also, it's a 5-all overtime. So there's been loads of goals in that game, and now it just comes down to 1.
Okay, all right. If we're being more specific then for our finals, I think that of the 5 games that BDS and Giants play amongst each other, I think that the overall goal difference is no more than +1 or +2 for BDS. Actually, it has to be +3 minimum, doesn't it? It's no more than +3. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be really close in games.
It doesn't have to be +3.
No, because they could smash them. Yeah,
it could be a 10-0 in game 1 for Giants, and then just 1
exactly. Yeah, I think the goal difference will be sort of like pretty much even. You know, where it's all within 1 goal per game or something.
Okay, so you reckon much closer?
Yeah.
For the goal difference, at least. Man.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. So, okay, we'll put these brackets on Twitter. We'll make sure that people see them, and we will definitely post them. Otherwise, should we just very quickly skim through NA?
Should we do 1 result each and just quickly do it?
Okay, where's the NA bracket? Hang
on. In the quarterfinals, do you want to do first result?
There it is. Quarterfinals, NRG versus Peeps. NRG take it 3-1.
Okay. Envy versus Alpine. Envy take it 3-1.
GT versus Rogue. Rogue take it 3-0.
Whoa, big throw for GT. They haven't performed in any of the playoffs, to be fair.
There we go. And SSG... Rogue don't play the game, really.
They do what they want. SSG versus KCP. SSG 3-2 overtime.
Okay, so our first semi-final is NRG versus Envy, both winning 3-1. NRG 4, Envy 3. They've had very close results, usually, apart from that one where it was a near clean sweep for NRG over Envy. And it was just the 1 goal that was scored in, I think, the final game.
Rogue versus Space Station. Everybody gets annoyed at Rogue that they dared defeat G2 as Rogue gets smashed 4-0 by Space Station Gaming. They are tilting all over the place.
Okay, so NRG have had a close semi-finals versus Envy with that 4-3, and Space Station have quite frankly walked through to get to the grand finals.
Yeah.
And in the end,
Yeah, you've got the finals, mate. It's fallen to you.
No, let's say them at the same time. So say NRG's first and then Space Station.
Okay.
So
right, have
like
you got something in mind?
4-1, for example. Right. Yeah, I've got it in mind.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 4-2.
2-4. 2-4.
Okay, so I went 4-2, you went 2-4.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll call it a draw.
3-all.
3-all. They call it a draw. Internet goes out globally. It's the start of the apocalypse, baby.
Beautiful.
And that's where it ends up falling. So it's a draw in the end. Space Station and NRG both take it. They split the prize money. They're all friends at the end of the day. And Cole, to finish off this episode of the SubPar Poddy C, I have got a very quick game of... It's a weird place to listen from.
Actually, now I think about it, yeah, it is.
So, people that don't know, I look at the stats from the previous episodes and see where people have listened from. And I try to aim for a place that has got 1 or 2 listeners to try and snipe people out. We've had a few places in America and a few European places as well. And I give Cole 2 truths and 1 lie. He just has to identify which one the lie is. So, Cole, this place, this week, is a place called Bulgaria in Sicily.
Bulgaria.
It's a beautiful fishing town in southern Italy with a population of over 55,000 people as of 2013.
Wow. Okay.
Sounds pretty, doesn't it, already? Sounds nice. Nice fishing town.
I'd go there and buy some nice homemade pasta.
Yeah, there you go. So, Cole, my 3 facts, wink, for you, where you have to tell me which one is a lie.
Stop winking.
You made an eye joke on the RLCS the other week.
It was a good one, though. It proper stopped you in your
Did
shitty
you
little tracks.
enjoy the fact that I set you up for it?
Did you mean to?
It was a deliberate setup.
Oh, I feel like that's rewriting history for
It's
the record.
not. I promise you it wasn't.
Tell you, I can put it in. I can find it, and I can put it in.
God, you're giving yourself more work.
Right now. To Dignitas, I am absolutely shocked. Fair play, Stumpy. You predicted Dignitas would win this series. Obviously, we're not there yet, but they're certainly looking in the ascendancy. And they just seem... That's definitely... Twitch chat knows that much. 2-0 Dignitas.
You can see how deliberate that was.
Place your bets, people. Let us know.
It was, I'm telling you now. I was going to message you afterwards and say, you're welcome, TRL Cole. But I completely forgot. Okay, so, Cole, my 3 facts that I've got for you are, on the 19th of March, the people of Bulgaria celebrate St. Joseph, their patron saint, with a feast.
Okay, that's not that interesting, but go on.
That seems harsh. It's not that interesting. Sorry, Bulgaria. All right. The next fact. In the centre of Bulgaria, there is a museum filled with old Sicilian relics, but primarily it focuses on architecture and church doors.
That's a weird combination of things. You can't build a church door with a tractor. I've always said it.
What?
I might have read architecture as agriculture.
Do you like how I didn't just pretend I got the joke?
Yeah, no, but that sort of... Because I was thinking farming and church doors, and I was like,
it's architecture.
Architecture, not agriculture.
Yeah.
Easy mistake to make.
It's sort of Italy, quite old, loads of churches, and sort of more architectural, I suppose, in Italy.
There's lots of tractors in Italy.
Maybe. I reckon they all just hand pull stuff there. Okay. And finally, sources, claim the town gets its name from the Arabic meaning windy gateway.
I mean, you could be the source here.
Sources claim, cool Cole.
You could have, like, anonymously called up the Sun and said, hey, just so you know, the town of, what's it called? Bulgaria gets its name from the Arabic meaning windy gateway.
And they go, did you hack their phones? And I'm like, nope. And they're like, don't want to know them.
The first one is the most boring thing I've ever seen. If that is the lie, then I am distraught at your lie-making ability. So chalk that one off as the truth. Go on.
No, you have to pick.
Oh, for goodness sake, we do this every time.
Yes, because you have to remember the ruls. You have to pick it. Otherwise, you get down to a 50-50.
Yeah, but it's a 50-50 now anyway in my mind. Anyway,
okay,
whatever.
Fuck your mind.
In the
fucking go with the tractor, you prick.
Bulgaria, there is a museum filled with old Sicilian relics, but primarily focusing on architecture and church doors. Sources claim the town gets its name from the Arabic, meaning windy gateway.
Sources claim.
I think that you picked that third one as a truth, the sources one, because you thought that the wording was funny. That Wikipedia said sources claim, and you think that's quite funny. They don't say the sources, and you thought that would trip me up.
Well, no, bear in mind that I rewrite these. I don't just copy these from Wikipedia.
Yeah, but if you put sources, you've taken the word sources from Wikipedia.
Okay.
Meaning that I think that the lie is that in the centre of Bulgaria there is a museum filled with old Sicilian relics, but primarily focusing on architecture and church doors, because actually it was originally agriculture and church doors. And I probably read that somewhere in the past, and that's why it's in my head.
They realised that there were no tractors in Italy.
Exactly, so you've changed architecture and agriculture.
Well, you might have changed history with this, mate. So, the first truth,
top one,
is... Sources claim the town of Bulgaria gets its name from the Arabic, meaning windy gateway.
I've got this one right, 100%. I'm so confident. You would not make up something that dull. Shitty St. Joseph, who cares?
You've given me so much credit. Okay, right, the next truth.
Please don't look at something that boring.
The next truth is... On the 19th of
Yes!
March, the people of Bulgaria celebrate St. Joseph, their patron
Boring.
saint, with a feast.
So dull. If it was you, you'd have said that with a feast of eyeballs from a fish, or like you'd have made it like a little bit more specific and interesting. With a feast, like there's feasts up and down the bloody country all over the place. It's Italy. All they do is feast.
All right, and then the lie was in the centre of Bulgaria, there is a museum filled with old Sicilian relics, but primarily focusing on architecture and church
Agriculture.
doors. Definitely architecture. So, Carl, that's your first win in...
Not
that's
true.
a weird place to listen from.
It's not my first win. I beat Metsonoris.
So, congratulations on getting your first win.
Cheers, mate.
It must feel good.
It does feel good to win.
Good. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of the SubPar Poddy C. It has been brought to you by our wonderful, beautiful, incredible patrons. Fuck you all. Fuck every single last one here. If you want to get involved and get a bespoke fuck off, make sure that you go to patreon.com/subparbitnhd and we will make sure to shout you out on the next episode. $1 a month will get you in an episode of the Poddy C. And make sure that when you sign up, you do so with a name that we can read out. If it is your first name and last name, we won't say your last name, we'll just say initial. So we'll go Phoebe R or whatever. That's the plan.
We're on 3 retweets out of 69.
Okay, well I'm
I
excited.
love our fans.
I'm excited to see that one pile up. Hopefully that'll get a bit more traction. We've not got a DM yet from Pete either, so hopefully that kind of comes through as soon as.
Yeah, come on, Pete,
That'd
sort
be
it out.
nice, yeah. And also, if you want to help support us, make sure you go to shop.subpar.gg. Look at our merch. It's coming up to winter. There's hoodies. Really, really comfy hoodies. Make sure you look at them. And if you are on the Epic Store, which all of you probably are now, make sure that you use our creator code SUBPAR, SUBPAR, all one word, and we will get a little old slice of your Epic Store purchases at no cost to you. We're going to be rinsing Todd Howard for all that he's worth. So any V-Bucks, any titanium white Fenix you may be buying, make sure that in the top corner of Rocket League you use code SUBPAR. And even if you're just buying a game through Epic, you can put in a creator code, so you can whack it in there as well if you see any sales that you like the look of. Creator code SUBPAR. But otherwise, Cole, do you have any words to say to the people before we go?
No.